Hey guys, it's Melissa. I'm just putting my hair down. Ooh, I am hot in this room. I don't know what is going on, but um, 1 minute it's really cold in here, and then I play with the heat and it's like super hot in here. Like last night, I was sweating a lot. So, what am I up to? So, I'm in the hotel room. As you can see, I've got hotel stuff around me. Um, my hair I just took down and it's like knotted. So, um, what am I up to? So let's talk about getting rich quick without it being a scam. So I worked today, I worked yesterday, got a check coming in next week, and I love being paid weekly. I hate being paid bi-weekly. I do not like that at all. So, so then I start my new job next week on Monday. And then I go in on Tuesday and I put in paperwork for a third job. So my first job is going to be in the morning, and my second job will be overnight. So I do not need a place to stay overnight. Um, I thought about getting a car, and once I get my first, paycheck, I can. And I looked at housing today, not only in person, but I called places. And I am just like, these places are dumps. Dumps. I looked at this place for 1700 today. 1700. And granted, they had a place for my storage if I wanted that to save a couple hundred. But it's not even quite a couple hundred for my storage. It's free this month and then it's like $169 or something. But even with that savings, I'm like, this is ridiculous. I mean, we had a house in Webster for 1600, 3 bedrooms on the lake, and you're asking 1700 for nothing. So he's like, well, if you don't want this, we have a 1 bedroom in, where is it, Laconia? No, Henniker, on Main Street, up above a store for $1,200. And I'm like, baloney. I'm not paying that much. So once he told me, where it was and I looked it up, I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that. So look, sometimes you got to go down to go up. And that's not only a paradox that Jesus talked about, he who's the greatest is your servant, but it's the same way in many things. So I have chosen to make this hotel, not getting another room. I've chosen to say goodbye to this hotel within a couple days. Um, and then I am out camping and I am going to rough it. And yes, I could be like, oh, let me go pay rent at this amount, a crazy amount, and I have a roof over my head. Or I could be like, yeah, I'll go ahead and, sleep in my car. But I'm like, no, I'm going to do something even more radical. So I am going camping. I will be, sleeping at different places. I'm not comfortable with couch surfing. I'm just not, because I don't know the person. I have a son who went couch surfing and worked on a farm and had free housing with all that, which is really cool. He loves to travel. But I think that's, working on a farm is a cool thing if you can do that. But I personally do not like couch surfing unless I know someone, somewhat. I wouldn't really stay with them. So I'm actually going camping. And I have a 3 month goal here. I'll be making a good chunk of money, a good chunk. And I'm like, you can either put a big chunk toward rent or you can put it in the bank. And I've decided to put it in the bank. So this is a very small amount of time I have in my life that I really want to get finances, ahead of finances. And I can put enough away, probably within 3 months, to get a down payment on a house. So that is my 3 month goal. I'll be doing videos of what I'm doing, probably where I'm sleeping, how tired I am. I tend to need 8 hours, 8 to 9 hours of sleep, just the way I am. I've always been this way. My mother used to wake me up for school and be like, Melissa, hurry up, get your snowsuit on. In the winter, you got to walk to school. And I had to walk to school with my friends. But I was always slow with getting ready, and I just do better with a lot of sleep. But I can probably catch up on Sunday with my sleep. and a couple other times with my sleep. But I'm pretty much going to be working on 5 hours of sleep, and working. Just work, work, work. And my goal is 3 months of having a huge chunk. Someone's texting me. A huge chunk of money set aside for 3 months, and then from there either get a car in cash or get a FHA loan or something and buy myself something that I want. Something I want. Probably I might even go to Webster. I might go back to Webster where we had the house and buy something there because I did like living in the country, kind of country city. I mean, you're not far from the city, but you're far enough out that you're in the country. And I mean, I have relatives in Deerfield, and Deerfield it was growing up very much in the boonies. You didn't have a lot of people around. I know it's changed a lot, but I don't think I'd like to be way out there in the country. I don't know. Maybe, now it's not so, you know, it's not so boony like, but for now, I am going to work really hard and just invest in my finances and get a house and invest in that. So that is something that I want. I don't want to live in a dump. I'm like, why would I waste my money on a dump? I just don't, it doesn't make sense to me. If I'm going to live somewhere, I'm going to live somewhere nice. And, me and my husband had apartments years ago, and a couple of them were pretty dumpy. Let me see, Route 28 was dumpy. I think all of them were actually kind of dumpy. Princeton was dumpy. Well, that was okay. You had to go in. The landlord shared a place with you. And I just called the place and they're like, the only, catch here is the landlord lives upstairs and they will have to go through your home to get to the basement. And I'm thinking, no, that's not happening. We had neighbors on North State Street swearing at all times at night. We had, let me see, Pennacook. We could not use the rooms upstairs because of fire issues, and that's why we lived in a trailer. We lived in an old trailer. I raised my kids in a trailer for 23 years, made it look nice. I was organized. We were able to do it. 5 kids in a trailer. 3 of them got older, and we had 2 more, and we did it. So if I can live in a trailer on pretty much nothing and make it a place of beauty, really, we did have a very rich home life in that place, then I can also make a life and design my life in a way that says I can do this and spend probably, let me see, storage would probably be an average of 50, less than that a month. I'll be living on about $300 because I'm just $300 a week. Actually less than that. Let me see. About $200 a week. Yeah. So $200 a week, and I will be sending money back I'll be paying my place in Colorado Springs. And my son helped take care of us. My son's all pitched in, so I owe money to him. So maybe 200, if anything, 300 with trying to get my car taken care of, making a payment to them. Not much at all. So a couple $100 a week isn't going to really hurt me. And let me see. So I will be putting away a lot of money, and like I said, if I can live in a trailer, which was like a camper, it was pretty old, then I can do this. So I am planning my life. I have it down to the, down to the T. It's hard when people screw you over. It really is, because, I've had bosses in the past say, oh, I'll give you this many hours. And then they're like, oh, I'm only going to do this many hours. And you're trying to, depend on the income. And, I'm working on some things. And so I'll be doing that. I'll be living out and about and camping and just putting money away. And then when I do find what I want, I'll be looking to in my free time. I'll probably be, I'll be doing a lot of different things, but I will be looking for, what exactly I want. And it's time for me to get a dream home. It's been like, okay, I've had these crappy apartments, and then, I haven't always, I've sacrificed a lot to have my kids, and that I don't have a problem with that, no regrets. I loved having my kids, and you can live on very little and have a lot of kids. And so I love that. And then we had the nice house for my husband. I got that for him. He mostly wanted it. And I still had stuff packed. I mean, I never really unpacked there. I just felt like I hadn't really gotten, to the point of really getting cozy there, just being so busy. So it's time now to look into buying a house, build my credit, and just buy a house that I want now. And it will be something that I'm going to have for years, and then I'll probably leave it to my kids eventually. But that's what I'm going to do, and set up money for my kids too, to have something for when I'm gone. So that's the plan, and I'm looking forward to this challenge. And like I said, it's probably the only time in my life I'm going to have an opportunity to do this, because I don't want to do this when I'm older. When I'm older, I don't want to do this. Right now, I'm young enough to do it. I've hiked. I'm very. Someone said to me today, "Are you a hippie?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not a hippie, but I am an outdoorsy girl. I am minimalist. I mean, yeah, I enjoy materialistic stuff, but I'm not materialistic. So I'm going to challenge myself. You guys can follow me, and that is how I will be designing my life for the next at least 3 months. Okay, thanks for joining me, guys.